Welcome to Better Today, the podcast where we embrace the journey of self-improvement and well-being. Join us as we navigate the challenges and victories of everyday life, aiming for progress, not perfection. Whether you're on a quest for personal growth, seeking motivation to adopt healthier habits, or simply looking for a friendly conversation about navigating the ups and downs of life, Better Today is your go-to companion. Tune in to be a part of a supportive community that believes in the power of small steps and continuous improvement.
Kimmy, let's get this mic adjusted and get going. So today's episode, we're going to talk a little bit different. We're not going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about health, discipline, and what actually matters in 2026. So from your perspective as a coach, January is always a big month.
It is a very big month.
Very big month, right?
For everybody.
You just ran a challenge for busy moms.
Sure did.
And what stood out in that challenge?
A lot of stuff. So yeah, January, as we all know, is, everybody jumps in January with big health and fitness goals. And so it's always really interesting for me as a coach because it brings out real life pretty quickly. And the women who were in my challenge, it was a women's challenge. They're not women with endless time by any means.
Moms.
They're moms with jobs, they're kids, they've got packed schedules and a lot on their plates. So this challenge that I ran for them was in itself intentionally very simple. It wasn't about extremes. It wasn't about a total overhaul on everything that they're doing. It was about how to show up consistently in some foundational habits that matter, and that even on the worst of days, if you can still do these habits, you're going to make progress towards where you want to be. So things like moving your body, prioritizing protein, checking in on yourself, hydrating, and just not quitting. This is the most important part, was not quitting when the day doesn't go perfectly. And that's where I find as a coach, a lot of people fail in January because they go in with this big overhaul mindset. Yeah. One day goes to shit, and then, well, there goes that.
There goes
January's over, 2026 is over. So there were plenty of imperfect days, and there were a lot of days we had to talk through and work through, missed workouts, meals that don't go as planned. It's really hard when you're trying to make meals for your family and focus on your personal health goals. But the goal was to treat this as a priority. And it wasn't about your mood. It was about doing the work even when you didn't want to do the work and making progress.
Yeah.
So not just physically, but in their energy, in their mindset, in their confidence, and just how they showed up at the end of the day for their families. So that was our challenge. It was good.
Yeah, that's good.
That was like the overall vibe that I went into the challenge with.
In other aspects of life besides just health, people let that hinder them. Like, oh, I didn't meet this specific goal this week, whether if you're in a sales position at your company. So it's just over. I'm going to have to wait till the end of the week or wait till next week to just start all over again. And
I had a really good talk with Rose, our 5-year-old, this morning. She asked me what a goal was.
Oh, cool.
I was like, what is a goal? I explained it to her as it's something you decide that's important to you, and it's something that you can't do or you don't have yet, but you have to work really hard, whether it's practicing or putting in more work and time into reaching that goal. And I've had to bring it back to, and that's the fun part of it, is working until you can get to that goal.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of people miss that basis right there with goal setting in general, though, is they want the end result. They don't want to do the work.
People want to be at the top of the mountain without climbing it. That's right. This brings it back to overwhelm versus discipline. So a lot of people say they're overwhelmed when it comes to anything to do with health. Do you actually think it's overwhelm, or are they just overthinking the situation, or what do you think about that?
Overwhelm is real, especially for moms. I mean, how many times am I just overwhelmed, overstimulated, all of the above? You got the mental load, the kids, the work, the house chores, everything that has to be done, and somebody needs something from you constantly. So I never want to dismiss that, because I do think that there is such a thing as overwhelm, and that really plays a factor into how you can take care of yourself at the end of the day.
But just to interrupt, it's a mindset thing too, because if you feel overwhelmed today, we felt overwhelmed when we had one kid.
Yeah.
And now we have 3 kids.
And I'm more overwhelmed.
And you're more overwhelmed. But man, if you only had the one.
Yeah, you learn more as you go.
Right.
We've talked about this with other people before, is like you always think you're at max capacity. But when something else gets forced onto your plate, somehow you figure out how to make it work.
That's right.
But it's because it's a priority and you have to do it.
And you don't know that until you have that realization. Like some of our friends,
you don't know it while you're in it. Like,
yeah, you have no clue. Like, I mean, we feel overwhelmed right now, but at least we know and have that 30,000 foot view of, oh, I know I feel overwhelmed right now, but there are other people out there that are doing 10 times more than what I'm doing.
So what changes though is we feel overwhelmed, but if you add another kid or another job, that's a priority. The problem comes with health is most people know what to do. They've like read the books, they watch TV, they listen to the podcasts. What happens at the end of the day is that it remains an optional part of their life.
Yeah, there's no lack of information out there about what is healthy versus what is not healthy.
And so anytime something is like an optional priority in your life, as soon as life gets busy, that's going to be the first thing that gets pushed to the back burner. And that is what I see mostly, not with just women, but mostly with anybody trying to make a health change in their life, whether it be losing weight, trying to get off a certain medication. They just got diagnosed with something and their doctor wants them to make these changes. Unless it's a true priority, if it remains optional to any degree, it's not going to get done. And that's like the big mindset shift around that.
So what separates people who actually stick with something versus the just let it go on the back burner?
Like they make it a priority, but I think at some point people try to rely back on motivation. And motivation can't be what you're relying on, because same thing, motivation is an emotional feeling. And as soon as anything gets hard or difficult, motivation is going to fade at some point.
That's right.
There's no such thing as motivation sticking around forever. And it has to come back to the choices that you made and the discipline. And that's how you push forward through those.
This is just how it is.
Yeah. Like it just has to be what you do today.
That's right. It's just how it is. That's life. What were the biggest things that you saw that worked during the challenge?
So the biggest things that I saw work for people is to focus on what they could do and to create a win out of that. So you don't always think like, woohoo, I drink a glass of water. But if I gave someone that goal of before you do anything else in your day, drink a glass of water. And that's the only thing I need you to focus on for the next 30 days. Because if you stick with that habit that's so stupid easy that there's no way you can't do it, and you do it every day, then the momentum's going to keep winning. I kind of forgot what your question was.
Oh, it was like, what actually worked?
Yeah. So Bill, okay. So that makes sense.
Welcome to the podcast world. You get on a rant and you're like, wait, what was the actual question? Because I've just been talking.
So that makes sense to what I was saying. You just pick like a foundational goal that even on the hardest day, no matter what happens, you can hit that goal. It might be something as simple as brushing your teeth.
Right.
You make that the foundation and you build upon that. So once you get that done for a couple of days or a week or whatever, you pick another super simple thing that you can build on, so that these aren't like, today I'm going to eat 150 grams of protein. It's every morning at breakfast, I'm going to have a protein source. And that's how you start focusing in on these changes into these little habits that are pushing you towards that, say, 150 gram protein win, but it's something so easy in your mind, there's no way you can't do it.
That's right.
I don't know how else to say that.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
that's
it's
how
got
you
to
do
be
it.
simple and repeatable, and then it just becomes a routine.
I think what that comes down to is the overwhelm thing again, is people try to make these big things. Like we're already talking about, we're going to do 75 hard. That's a big, overwhelming project.
Yeah.
You're already like, how am I going to hit my protein goal? How am I going to do my 2 workouts? Overwhelm is creeping in because it's a lot of things to change at once.
Yeah.
But I think overwhelm, it shows up when everything feels optional, but clarity shows up when your standards are set. So when we are going into 75 hard, even though that is a big overhaul in our life, Those are going to have to be standards that we prioritize for
Yeah.
our life. And it's going to have to be written down. It's something that you have to think about every single day. For me as a coach, I know how to hit my protein goal.
Yep.
But I'll tell you what, if I don't think about it every single day and make that a priority in my brain, I am not going to hit my protein goal no matter what.
Yeah. And we're already trying to figure out. So I don't eat with the kids. This is on like a little tangent about how I'm going to set myself up for success. I don't eat with the kids the first 2 meals of the day until dinner, essentially most days. So my goal is between 175 and 200 grams of protein a day, every single day. So in order to hit that before 2:00, when I get home to go to the gym, I want to have already eaten 150 grams of protein. That way, no matter what we eat for dinner, I know I'm going to get at least 25 grams of protein. That way, I don't even have to worry about it. If I hit that 150 by 2:00 or before we go to the gym, essentially, then I know I'm going to hit my protein goal every single day. So I don't have to plan out dinner. I just have to plan out my first 2 or 3 meals of the day, and then I'm good from there, right? You know, that makes it as simplified as possible, I guess.
And going back, what it comes down to is if you make a goal, you want to lose X amount of weight, and this is your year, you're going to do it. You have to lay out the steps of how you're going to do it, but it has to be the forefront of your mind, and there's no way that you can fail. If you even let a sliver of doubt in that you can't do it, you're not going to do it. Today, I'm working on my ring muscle up. It's a goal of mine. Like that was a goal that I was going to hit this year. I didn't give myself a deadline, and that kind of started effing with my head.
Yeah.
And I kind of kept letting myself, it's okay if I don't do it right now.
Yeah.
It started to become optional, and mindset was not there.
Yeah.
Until I was like, okay, this is it. Like I have to do this today.
Yeah. And
and then I did it today. And then I did it today.
And you were a little bit too straight up and down, and you saw, I did one, and you saw how much further forward I was on the rings. And literally the very next one you did it because you knew all you had to do was go that other 4 or 5 inches.
I mean, to me, that is the difference in if you're going to be successful at something or not. As soon as you make that change in your mind,
As soon as you commit
and that you're going to do it, and that there's no way you're not going to do it. And I think that's why programs like 75 Hard, a lot of people fail it, but for a lot of people, it's a life-changing program because that's the first time they commit to something.
Yeah.
And have these steps, and there's no way they're not going to do it.
After that, you don't necessarily have to do all of those things every day, but if you did it once a year, it would be a good reset every year, right? And I don't know, there's a set phase 2 or whatever. Same thing with water, setting yourself up for success. This is going to have to be your thing. You're going to have to drink
really bad at water.
3/4 of your water before we go to the gym every day. That way you don't only have to worry about that 1/4 of a gallon for the rest of the day, right? So all that being said, whenever you reflect back on it, how did that change your mindset as a coach? Do you think? Did it change anything?
What?
Like
what specifically?
The consistency, or like how to make things more simple and repeatable?
Yeah, so I think that's part of the problem is that women feel like they have to do everything perfectly to be healthy. Like they have to hit their protein goal perfectly if that's what the trend is. A lot of people follow trends.
Yeah.
They have to, do the detoxes and all that stuff, and every day has to be perfect. And if I had to simplify it down, I would say stop chasing what looks impressive and what you're supposed to do via TikTok or Instagram, and start choosing what actually supports your life. And that's why I tell people when they come into my programs or my challenges, I'm like, look, this is not shiny. It's not fun here. This is the real life stuff that you have to do. And we're going to figure out how to make it a part of your life so that you don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
But it's not fun and it's not fancy. It's just the work that you have to do every single day.
Going to Cancun and to the beach is fun, but not going to the airport 3 hours ahead of time and getting on that plane and sitting around a bunch of stinky people.
Yeah.
But you got to get on the plane to get to the beach.
Yeah. But you also have to think about it in a way that fits your life. If it's draining you at the end of the day, then something has to give. And so you have to look at it from a sustainable viewpoint, because health needs to be a part of your life. It can't take away from your life, and it needs to show up in your day and make your day better and not make it worse.
Yeah.
You know?
So there's so much health and fitness content out there. If you had to simplify all that for a busy mom, woman this year, where should their focus actually be?
First, stop chasing the trends that you're seeing on TikTok and Instagram. And like right now, what bothers me is you don't go on TikTok a lot, but when I was like in college and a teenager, it was like the skinny girl, like as skinny as you can get, was what was in.
Is that back?
That's back.
I thought we were in strong mode now.
We were, and now it's going back. So don't follow the trends, because that one sucks. Specifically.
That does. We like a strong woman with a big booty.
So the second thing, so don't follow the trends. The second thing is, to focus on strength and daily movement. You don't need to be out there doing like extreme cardio. You need to do some strength training a couple times a week, because that's going to give you energy. That's going to be so beneficial for your health. It's going to build your confidence and longevity. And then like things like walking is underrated. You don't have to go out and run 20 miles every day.
Yeah, back to 75 hard.
Get your walking
in. One of our
in.
workouts, our outside workout, is going to be a 45-minute walk.
And you figure out how that fits into your life. Like walking, can I take a phone call at work and walk on even a walking pad, something like that, just to get that extra movement in. I think we fall back to sitting and being stagnant too much, and just improving your daily movement overall is a big thing that can help people, especially if they're super busy. And then eating for stability.
Okay. What's that mean?
That means eating enough protein, eating regular meals, not eating crappy meals that make your blood sugar crash, because that's where, especially as moms,
or spikes and up and down.
That's where we fall, because that's when you start getting dysregulated. Your whole system falls apart. You can't handle your kids at that point if you're constantly up and down crashing all day. So that's where the protein comes at each meal, and eating consistently. Like you can't be skipping meals all day long. It makes you feel like crap.
Yeah.
You need to keep your body feeling good.
Now, what about stress and sleep? How do you deal with that? Because I know it's very, very hard as a mom a new mom for sure. Your body does weird stuff whenever you're a brand new mom, though, to help deal with this. Like your chemical balance changes completely when you're a new mom to help mitigate some of this stuff. But let's say you're like 18 months or a year in, how do you then transition back to a normality of getting enough sleep and helping deal with the stress that's in your life?
A lot of caffeine. I'm just kidding. You can't out-train chronic stress problems, and you can't really out-train bad sleep. Stress, finding ways that bring your stress down. So for me, that's a big cortisol control. So first thing in the morning, you want to hydrate with electrolytes. You want to step outside, let the sunlight get in your eyeballs. All that stuff's going to help your cortisol right in the morning. And then finding ways you can help regulate throughout the day. So whether you're stretching or doing yoga or reading a book, the biggest benefit for me, and has been the biggest game changer, is consistent chiropractic care. We see a nervous system focused chiropractor, and that just helps your body. So I don't even know how to explain it. I should know how to explain
like brushing your teeth.
It just helps your body so much and helps that stress regulation.
Yeah, when your neurological system or nervous system is in balance, it helps your body do all the other things that it's supposed to do.
Investing in the ways and making it a priority of how you can lower your stress. The easiest things are electrolytes in the morning, stepping outside, getting sun, and movement, and eating enough protein. Those if you only do those things, it's going to help your stress level so much. And then sleep is just try to get good sleep when you can. We're still dealing with this. And just, you can't, if you are tired, you have to listen to your body. There's a time and place to train hard through feeling tired and stuff, but it can't be every day.
Yeah.
That really, especially for a female, that's going to wreck your hormones even more. Yeah. So you just have to listen. There's days where I'm just dragging and I can't go full steam at the gym, but I can go do a couple exercises and walk.
Yeah.
and then I feel better. I feel more energy.
Yeah.
So I think just listening to your body on those things.
And I think next thing on here, it says identity-based discipline. And now I think people view us as who we are. We run a business or businesses, and we're a pretty healthy family. And that's just who we are. And people know that. You can see us out and know that we're pretty healthy, right? Because that's who we are. I mean, you can just look at us, and people listen to the podcast or see our social media pages or anything like that. We are business and health.
So I made this decision very long time ago in my life that I was someone who worked out and liked to eat healthy.
Yeah.
I brought you into it. I brought the kids into it now. But it's just one of those things where F your mood and you just follow the plan.
That's right.
And this is who I am now. Like, I want to make these changes. I want to be a person who can run a mile. What does that person look like? And then I'm that person now.
Yeah. All right. To follow up on all of those things, what do you think women or people should stop chasing to help them kind of change their identity?
In health.
In health. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The trends. I said that a couple times now.
But this is a follow up. So
any kind of like, you don't need to do these crazy detoxes and juice fasts and intermittent fasting. Like, you don't need to do all that stuff. You don't need to try and do like transformation challenges because you'll get fast results, but no, like, I've never had somebody who's done really well in a 6-week challenge do well long term.
Yeah.
Like, it's very short key or short term, and then they kind of forget everything after.
Yeah.
So you want, like we've been talking about, make health feel like it's a part of your lifestyle. It's who you are. It's something you do. And you don't need to constantly be doing a reset. You just need to build a routine that can survive your real life.
Yeah, that's right. And speaking of real life, how do you think a mom's or dad's health choices affect the rest of the entire family?
In every possible way.
Completely agree.
I can just tell on days where I'm really focusing on my nutrition and my hydration and stuff, just how I handle the kids throughout the day is better.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like a lot more calm and patient. I can be a lot more present because I feel good. And then that also comes back to, what are you modeling for them? And so, like, we were talking about this earlier, like, our kids, the gym is just the place they go. Like, they get upset if we don't go to the gym one day. They're like, why aren't we going? Like, they love to be there. They love to talk about, I'm going to be strong one day. And they like to practice their lifts and all that stuff. And I think that's rare that we get to bring our kids, but you can do that at home. Like, you can take them on walks. Every night we do mobility exercises together, and golly, the kids love to do that.
They do.
So it's just like, we make it fun. We don't make it a pressure thing, and it just has become part of their life now.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, literally every night in 2026, we read about baby Jesus or read the Bible, like a little kid's daily devotional, and we do our exercises.
Yeah.
And watch some movies, like we're watching The Inside Out right now.
And I think this is important for moms, is it's not selfish to work on yourself and work on your health. It's foundational because it is going to affect your family in every possible way. Even ways you don't think it's going to affect your family is going to benefit them so much if you take care of yourself first.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, health is your foundation, right? And now my opinion on health, eating healthy, getting enough sleep. And I sent this to you last night, and it says, some of you are worried.
Sleeping.
Yeah.
I think I got it.
It says, some of you are worried about your wife cheating on you. I worry if mine's eaten or not. I don't want her to be mean to me. That hits home. It's like, man, Kim needs to eat some food. She's mad. Kim didn't get enough sleep last night. She's a little cranky.
Right now, it's mostly sleep. It's not. I've been doing a good job eating.
And some of the sleep
food.
things kind of out of control until the kids are a little older. You know, I mean, Otto should be sleeping, but he doesn't sleep that good. Still,
It's a terrible sleeper.
but 1 out of 3 ain't bad.
It's hard though.
It is very
And
hard.
that's why, like everybody has their hards,
Yeah.
but there's things you can do to make sure that you're making yourself a little bit better.
Yeah. 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 But I completely am on board with, if you try and prioritize your health, your entire family benefits from that.
Yes. So I want to push that back to like, I don't push health and like coaching and stuff to like reach a certain aesthetic. Like that's a byproduct eventually, and that's great.
Yeah.
But to me, it's more like, how are you showing up every day in your life? You're going to have more energy. You're going to feel better.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to do better at your job, at work. You're going to show up better for your family. Your family is going to feel better. They're going to do better. And you're going to live a longer life, hopefully. I mean, there's things outside of your control, but like I just had 2 close people to me pass away way younger than they should have.
Yeah.
And so you think about that, like you can't prevent everything, but why would you want to take a chance of just sitting back and letting your life go by you and not trying to make yourself healthy and build this longevity that there's so much benefit to exercise and nutrition that we know of, and it's so proven.
Okay.
So I don't know how we don't focus on that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's close this bad boy out.
Okay.
If someone's listening and feels behind with their health, what do you want them to hear?
That you're never behind. Every day is a good day to make a little bit of a better choice to improve your health. You don't have to overhaul it today. You don't have to overhaul it tomorrow. But what's one thing you can do to make yourself better today? That's the whole point.
Okay, the final line. Read it out.
Better today isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters consistently.
That's right. And there's no secret to success. You have to work for it.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you found value in this episode, make sure to share it with a friend and follow us on social media. And remember, no matter where you are in your journey, you can always be better today.